Hello everyone and welcome to another great modder stream here in MTG. Today we are playing Living End, and in this case it's not the classic Sultai Living End that I have been playing lately as as one of my main decks. This is just the Bant Living End. Advantages and disadvantages to this deck. This is more of a combo deck, while you try to cycle, cascade Living End, while the other is a bit more mid-rangey and you beat much more on decks like any mid-range or control deck, blue-white, Dimir, and anything like that, while this is a bit better or tends to be better against Boros energy because it just goes faster and you have more turn 3 kill you. New cards or changes, we have Wistfulness. We already saw this card. It's great. It's the new Waker of Waves for double green. When you evoke it, it's a exile artifact or enchantment, and for double blue, it's draw this card. It's big, it's green, it's blue. Then we are playing also today one Mistress Village against the control decks to have a bit better matchup, while the other deck is already very good against those decks. This needs a bit more of help. You can cascade, and in response to the cascade trigger, activate Mistress Village. That's a 5 mana play that they cannot counterspell, but they can consign after you invested 5 mana in this. Sometimes there's a bit of a downside, consign being a very good card. Then we are playing in the sideboard Betrayal, Defining Silence against Storm, Betrayal against Atraxas or Emrakul's, Disputes, Commandeer, Foundation Breaker, Force of Vigor, and Teferi. Teferi being the main card I miss when playing the Sultai deck, because it's just a great card and it punishes people for having a lot of cards like Consign to just Teferi, kill them. So yeah, that's it, and let's play. If you enjoy my content, hit like and subscribe. We're playing round 1 against Hachrem. And we have a very medium hand with double Living End. So I'm gonna mull this and try to get a better hand. Okay, this hand is better. What's the card I don't want? I'm probably cutting Press the Enemy in this game and playing Hedge Maze. Endurance goes to the grave. Match flats. So this can be Gorgeous or okay, seems like Boros energy. What is this? Ragavan? Ragamonkey, yep. Here I'm gonna get Island and then Cycle, Rightwinder and Creator maybe. Arena of Glory. Not sure which is better. I'm not fetching response. You don't know if they're gonna get my Boss of Negation. Now we could get Bloodmont, Guide of Souls. And they're playing something else. Okay, that they're playing something else is Bombardment. Yeah, I'm gonna cycle Curator and I'm gonna force the Bombardment. Nice force. That's one more day Magic Online Premium. And here I'm getting green, white. Temple Garden, crack, so classic turn 3. Go for it. Living End is put into the stack. I get things. Endurance my opponent. Pass. We have some power. Some flying power, some not flying power. Opponent is thinking. They could have an Ajani, and that's a strong card. Played a land before, so yeah. That's an easy subtlety. This gains a lot of tempo. They put Ajani on top. So, gonna cycle this. I could hit Boseiju, and okay, my opponent concedes. This was 9, 10, 11, 12, 12, 15. So it's with Exalted trigger next turn. It was lethal. Okay, sideboard. We want to side something in. Force of Vigor tends to be decent. Blade of Denial is weak. Street Wraith, Foundation Breaker. I'm gonna cut double Street Wraith. And that's it. We don't need the other cards. We're just worried about cards like High Noon and Blood Moon. Okay. Adam Player, Creator, a card that does nothing. I think I go on a mull. I can get better hands. Okay, this hand is better. I'm gonna put back Force of Vigor, Force of Negation. They have Ragavan, the Evergreen Ragavan or Guide of Souls? Yeah, the Evergreen Ragavan. Why not? So I'm gonna shock myself here and try to rip a untap land, like fetch land or breeding pool. Ragavan trigger, and they get Generous End. That was a good route. So Earn of Glory. And what's this? Bloodmoon? Bombardment. I guess. Gonna Cycle Fist. See what happens. Maybe I draw a card. Okay, yeah. Bombardment is gonna resolve because I drew into Endurance. So Meticulous Archive. Endurance goes to the grave. And now I have Force of Negation plus Endurance. I go to 14. Gonna go to 12, 11. Shardless Agent. I could Shardless into something. There's some risky play if they Shardless. Because if they Shardless, I could Subtlety and get the Shardless back into my hand. Better say to the top of my library. They are the owner. They can choose. I guess opponent chooses to put it on bottom. So yeah, maybe not that risky. This is Bloodmoon time. Ranger. Ranger is mean and bad. Okay, Ranger is bad for me. They play one of Ranger, so still Guide of Souls. So they might have Thraven Charm. Subtlety. You are a bit late to the party. Here in response to the trigger, they have to crack the Ranger. So I'm not gonna cast this. Here I have Force of Negation and Subtlety. They could have Thraven Charm. Guide of Souls resolves. 3 cards. Johnny. Johnny. Okay, here. I Subtlety this. I don't Subtlety. I'm gonna Subtlety this. I think this Johnny plus Bombardment is quite strong. This at least tempo. I'm still thinking I'm getting Thraven Charmed here. No attacks. I'm going to attack. Yeah. This is free. Most lists don't run Orim's Chant anymore, but I could get hit by Orim's Chant. They sack. Cascade is put into the stack. I guess I'm gonna cast Living End and Endurance in response. If their last card is Thraven Charm and they tricked me, they got it. Okay. They don't have a Thraven Charm. I'm gonna put this there and this to myself to have another. So yeah, they will have an Ajani, but if they want to flip the Ajani, I can't kill the catty Planeswalker. Opponent taps for Ajani. See some Pyro. Flage comes in. This means Flage kills probably Curator. They call hit Curator and okay, they're hitting me. They did the math on Ajani. Probably not getting there on Ajani math. Activate. Flip. Yeah. Maybe they have another Flage. Okay. Opponent is at 11. Gonna hold back to block. And next turn I can Alpha Strike them. They attacked with everything. They would have shoot. This flips. Maybe they should have attacked with everything. See some Pyro. Okay, yeah. Would have been good. I would have been dead if I attacked with everything against the opponent. So maybe I die anyway. They shoot this. I go to 6. They flip. I go to token. I go to 3. They shoot. Yeah, that's exactly lethal. Yeah. This is exact lethal. 3/3. Yeah, Ajani. Strong card. But I said Bombardment is a strong card. Ajani is also strong. Okay. Yeah. Okay, 3. We have no lands. I mull. Okay, this hand is decent. I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna put back 1 Curator and probably casting Wistfulness. Maybe this time my opponent does not have a Ragavan on 1, but that's almost impossible. 90% chance that they have Ragavan. Oh, Guide of Souls. Surprise, surprise. Blue-green? Pitch Mace. Okay, I keep the other land. I'm gonna play Otawara, and evoke this. In enchantment I play, I can't deal with it. So here I draw 2 and discard. What I'm gonna discard? I could discard End. I guess End is fine. They have some power there. So discarding Living End would also not be bad. But do they have Thraven Charm? Okay. This smells like Thriven Charm. So yeah, we are taking our chances here. So gonna tap and pass. Not in a hurry. They are putting no pressure up. I can eat most of their graveyard later. So they want to. If they have Ragavan and holding Thraven Charm, that means they can do more things. But if they are not, okay, opponent has Magic Online Premium and they are surveilling Fletch the graveyard. Now, opponent, what do you want to do? 1 damage, yeah. They until next turn, we don't have to move. Next turn, they can play a Johnny and Thraven Charm or something like that. But currently, now this is go time. Gonna cycle again. This is gonna get eaten, but ooh, oh la la. Okay, I'm at 14. That's gonna be a surprise, like the ship from Master and Commander. That was also a surprise. They hit, also Sky Turtle. Gonna bounce Ragavan. Double Thraven Charm. If they have double Thraven Charm, then that's fine. Gonna accept it. Okay, they're fetching. What's this? Thraven Charm. They have another one. Another Thraven Charm. Yeah, double Thraven Charm. It could be anything. I'm gonna bounce that and not cast Living End. So now they can still blast. I don't think my opponent has Galvanic Postboard. They should not have a Galvanic Postboard. That card kills nothing in our deck, and they have to bring in a lot of cards. So the first 4 cards you board on, they are Galvanic. So they're missing 1 card to Fledge. I will need to draw an Endurance pretty soon. Maybe I should have cast Press the Enemy on my opponent's upkeep. Ranger, sure. What was that? Absolute Pride. Attack. I think I'm dying against the double Thraven Charm Ranger of Eos draw. Radiant. Does my opponent know my hand? Haste. Eat my opponent's graveyard. And now what? What's this? We could cast a Bombardment and we lose. Maybe see some Pyro. So that's probably lethal. I have 3 Living Ends, but it's because I have to see. Here is not 1, because if there was 1 Living End, there would be a little 1. There is just no numbers. How many islands? How many? I don't know. How many Los Poticos? So it's just no number. So assume the correct number. So okay, yeah, Super Dead. I can't block. They probably have some way of doing all the damage. Block here, and we get 3, 4, 5, 6. Something flies. Biggest attackers is this and this. The way, so I get 10 million if I block here. And we get 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 million. Anyway, a weird place from my opponent. Holding the double Thraven Charm when truly not needed. They could have played Leonin or something weird, but whatever. On to against Snorlax, and we have a medium hand that, depending if our Force of Negation is good or bad, which seems to be not very great. I'm gonna mull this. It is a bad hand, but I'm gonna keep it. Leyline, Arid Mesa. So I have Flare. I don't really like Flare in this deck. For me, it's a bit of a weak card. Flooded Strand. And I'm gonna cycle Curator of Mysteries. Okay, yeah. They are thralling. So I guess I will have a... Okay. Here comes a 6/5. Not a bad deal. You get a 1/2, I get a 6/5. They fetch for planes and upkeep, so they seem to have enough lands in hand to play. And they are searching some gas. Fletch would stay here. So gonna evoke. Do that. Okay. So still having a 6/5. When it's going to attack. Should probably not. Attack. Okay. Then, if they were not going to block, they should have attacked. Yeah. I can evoke Endurance, but not. It does nothing. Lightning Bolt. That's some damage. And then they killed my card. Gonna pass. Could have a counter. Fetch Mace. Force of Negation goes to the graveyard. And I draw a card. Boseiju. So the big question is, Do I play Shardless? That means they get back Flage, or do I Endurance block? Flage gets a trigger. Yeah, I know. It gets a trigger and they put Flage back. So yeah, the thing is it gets, but then it comes back. So I'm going to wait. Yeah, I know how Flage works with my card. That's okay. Is the last card a counter? That's the question. I'm gonna block this dice. Force of negation. Okay, yeah, I guess this is go time. I can consign or stubborn. That's 2 cards. That's a consign. Yeah. So thank Mr. Yak and Vavat for the. My opponent is on top deck mode, and I'm also on top deck mode, but I will be able to block. They kill Shardless. Shardless dies. I jump. Opponent cast another Flage. Okay, picks me down a bit. Need to draw another Cascade spell. Subtlety is not the spell I will love to cast. They can attack again, so I'm probably just playing Subtlety and jump blocking. They fetch for Steam Vents. They only play 1. Yeah, only the here. They Flage. I Subtlety. I wanted to block. That was bad. I messed up. I clicked through the attacker's blocker step. The Leyline. You got it. If I draw Cascade, it doesn't matter, but okay. So okay. I have Subtlety and Force, so we are still in this game. Oh, maybe not, because Doorkeeper Thrall. Maybe this doesn't come back, so this doesn't trigger. I'm still in this game. Okay, not that bad. They already used Double Bolt. I can Force. Okay, sure. Okay, now their Flage does everything. Shoot there. I play Subtlety. Opponent's never drawing a bad card. Block. They kill this, 1 damage here. I block with everything. And then let them choose. They can only kill 2 creatures, so Curator and Shardless is probably the answer. Flage dies. Just keep trying those forces. I don't think I can win. Attack with both. Jump, block there. Street Red. Another Endurance. I don't think I'm winning this game anymore. Yeah. They had a lot of bad draws, but Draco was a good one. Seems like they don't have any permanent hate. They have 1 Damping Sphere. I'm gonna board into Fairies. And Force of Vigor, cut, Force of Negation, and that's it. They have Stubborns and Consigns. Okay, that's it. Okay, game 2. This hand is okay, I'm gonna keep this. It's medium bad. Probably worth. 1 second. I'm back. Should probably play Mistress Village. And here we go. Loaded Strand. Gonna cycle right one there. Cycle Street Wraith. Play Boseiju. Pass. Probably, if they throw me, I'm gonna Subtlety with Wistfulness. If they play any creature. Cycle, try to hit a land. No land for me. What's this? Godless Shrine. Here comes Subtlety. They put Thrall on top. Okay. Temple Garden, shock themselves, and they Subtlety. Okay. I'm gonna play another Subtlety. It's just a bit of tempo. I can consign this. Land, please. Another Subtlety. Okay. This is starting to get ugly. Then draw a land. Despite cycling 3 times. Enough glory. Still wanting a land. But I draw another 3-drop that I can't cast. They are fetching. What is this? Flage with double backup? Hasty Flage. Hasty Flage. Yeah, never drank a land. I could still block 1 turn, but it's not getting anyway. Yeah, I had high chances if I drew a land in any of the other turns, but never happened. The truth is that in the last days I've not been having luck. Like, most of my games go wrong, and that's something. Run 3 against Horizon Van. This is double Living End in hand. That while having Living End in your hand, in the name of the deck is cool. Having it in your hand is not what you want to achieve. So here I'm gonna keep this. Probably putting Disciple is a fine card to discard. I'm gonna put Boseiju back and try to. Maybe I should have put Hedge Mace back and do Sync. What is this? This could be Storm. Okay, this is a good draw. So Hedge Mace, Flare. I'm getting Flare. Probably Flare will be a decent card against most decks, starting with Commercial District. Verdant Catacombs. What's this? Some kind of Valakut deck? Rumble. I'm playing against some... Yeah, it's literal Junt. Yeah, Junt. No one would have expected the Junt Inquisition. Blue. Draw some cards. Discard Disciple. Okay. You have to do this or you can do this? You may. I may sacrifice something. They kept FOMO last turn. And they have 3 card types. So this is Core Steel Cutter. Yeah. Could be some kind of weird deck. Now they FOMO. I can in theory cast everything. I get Street Wraith and Nethergoyf. Bubble. That's 17. Maybe I can wait one turn. I'm gonna wait one more turn. Get blue. And maybe channel green. So here we'll gain a lot of life and have much more Starfire. Yes, this spell getting cast. Second spell getting cast. I'm gonna return FOMO. That means no big amount of damage. 5, I go to 8. If they want to cast FOMO again, I'm fine. Atlas. Cascade triggers and we get Living End. They have a Street Wraith and another Goif. Not the gonna sacrifice Wistfulness. Gain 6 life, draw 6 cards, get a food, play this tapped and discard some cards. So gonna be Endurance, Living End and Ardent Player. And maybe I keep Endurance. What's this? Battle push my Shardless Agent. Yeah, sure. And now Seek the Beast. Yeah, I'm gonna let this resolve. It's true, it's 2 spells, but I'm fine. Exiled, Bauble, and Arena of Glory. Okay, so I discard Living End, Endurance, and Ardent Player. I'm at 14. I could block with everything. That's Druid. Not happening. FOMO. Probably also not happening. I'm gonna pitch Force of Negation to the FOMO so that they have double Ardent Player up. FOMO goes. And I have 6. They choose to put cards on top or bottom. They already have the Druid they put on top. So they play the Babel from Exile. Things grow. Now the question is, how much do they want to attack? 5, 6. Okay, with almost everything. This blocks here. This blocks here. This blocks here. I'm gonna try Nethergoyf, but then Endurance is coming back, and this is eating my opponent's graveyard. I'm not gonna attack with End. I don't want them to get their Retreat back. They draw some cards. Another Endurance. So, last Living End. Nothing. Disciple. Not eating anything. Just putting up my big creatures. I don't have any legendary spells, so here comes Boseiju. This can make me gain some life. Strong 0-1 opponent. That's a strong card. Land, Seek the Beast, Boseiju, and Stomping Ground. Opponent fetches. Why are they fetching? Just for mana. Want to play Questing and FOMO. Wanted another Survey land to try to hit Delirium. Okay, my opponent concedes. Yeah, I have a big team, so you tend to play against a lot of cards like Nihil Spellbomb against those decks. So I'm gonna board like this and pass. Opponent. I'm really broken. I'm so good at drawing double Living Ends. That's like my best skill, drawing Living Ends. I'm an expert, like literally champion of the world. I'm gonna put down Coastal Sky Turtle. Does my opponent play Ragavan? They should play some discard spell. Overgrown Tomb. So Nethergoyf or discard spell. This Nethergoyf. But you have a 1-2. Here I'm gonna cycle for green, white, Rumble, sure. Moonshadow, Cutter. They're probably keeping Cutter and putting down all the other cards. Not too shabby. Attacking for 4 on turn 2. Maybe blue, green. Searching for blue, green. Okay, here I have at 14. Depending what my opponent does this turn, I might have to cycle in respawns. They surveil to hit another card type. Oh, that kept Street Wraith earlier. I'm gonna end first to take card from my graveyard. My opponent has 5 types. Detective Phoenix. Cast. I'm gonna or Lush Portico and cycle. See what I'm able to draw. Nothing. Okay, resolves. 7. I go to 7. So that means I'm gonna go to 6. Yeah, sure. 6 it is. Shardless into the stack. They keep Phoenix on board, which is better than having it die. 4 more discards and draws. I have some attackers and some very good blockers, and I can gain life if I don't die. Maybe this is a good setup for survive Living End and then wait, big Living End. This is a good surviving Living End. They cannot attack with the extra attack step thanks to 4 more. So, opponent taps 3 mana for another Phoenix. They're not tapping black currently, so maybe it's not Nethergoyf. Okay, they're playing another face-up Phoenix. I play land, rest the enemy goes to the graveyard. I have my clues, I have my Boseiju, I'm in zero hurry. I said clues, but it's food. Bread, cheese, taxis. The card you want to take is not the one I care about. So they will like to take Boseiju. Get a survey, a scry 1. Play Dumping Sphere. That card does nothing. I'm gonna cycle this. Maybe the card from the top is very good and I cycle again. But if not, Street Wraith. I don't care. Edge Maze. Ah, no. I forgot to have the player goes into the graveyard. Opponent plays another Phoenix. Yeah, sure. And now I can gain life. Okay, we gained life. Oh, Fossil is quite strong here. So I'm gonna attack with Generous End here. Attack with End and opponent goes to 6. I'm at 12, so I should not be in the risk of dying. They can also not play Cutter plus a lot of spells. I have to block. I have blockers. I have Force of Vigor. Endurance. Endurance main phase, okay. This does nothing. Gonna force here and here. Okay, what happens if I Boseiju the Phoenix? They block here and here. I think this is lethal. I'm gonna keep that. That's 6. They have to block the big ones. And they could have something like a bolt or so. And attack with everything. Okay, and they concede. Great. On my Metafrail profile, you will find all my competitive Magic the Gathering content. You will get deck and sideboard guides, articles with ideas and analysis, and even the decks I will be playing in my next big tournament. I offer one-to-one coaching sessions to help take your game to the next level. Following is completely free, so hit the subscribe button and keep up with everything I post on metafy.gg. Round 4 against Germano BD. We have a quite medium hand, 5 lands. I don't think it's something you can keep, even if you have surveils and stuff, but Living End and no lands. We're on the draw. We could keep this as a very, very risky one, thanks to the end, but I prefer to mull to 5. There are better 5er hands that do something like okay, I'm gonna keep those. Subtlety tends to be a better early game card. Maybe we are playing against Storm and having Force of Negation would have been great, but yeah, you never know. Here we can hit a blue card, so Armisa pass. So I guess here I search for blue, white, and then forest, Thundering Falls. Okay, what is this? This might be Soup, Bloodstained Mire, so Prowess, probably. Ruibendalion, blue, white. So, in fact, having the extra, the Force of Negation instead of Subtlety would have been great. Yeah, there we go. I can hit an endurance or a force of negation. Rent resolves. Ritual. Reckless, wish, pyretic. More rituals, yep. Spirit, more mana. Wish, that is Past in Flames. They play land, Past in Flames. So I'm gonna cycle end for green blue and cycle gain. Try to hit endurance or... Okay, I guess this is not what I ordered, but it's has to work. It's called Pact, yeah. It's very hard to know what cards come from there. So okay, yeah, they are gonna kill me. They wished for Pact. I didn't know if the Past in Flames came from their exile or from their hand. Gonna keep one Living End and one Defining Silence, and then as mana press the enemy Force of Vigor, and I'm gonna cut. Okay, like this. So we have a turn 3 Shardless Agent with some backups. I'm happy about this hand. Gonna surveil for green blue to start with, and then start to cascade. Events, period, edge base. Shardless goes to the grave. Also Vigor, cycle Street Wraith, cycle Street Wraith, cycle Street Wraith. Again, thanks for the follow. We did draw Living Ends, so that means that the next turn, whatever we do, we are gonna hit Defining Silence. Rui Medallion, yep. They are playing Reckless after a ritual. Ral Wish, Ral gets cast. Ral resolves, Strike It Rich gets cast. Pressure gets made. I'm going to kill those two because of Orim's Chant or Spell Pierce. Meticulous Archive. Boros goes to the grave. And I was gonna fetch for Breeding Pool, so that's just free. They have Feigning Silence. Go. Current place land. They have Wish in the graveyard. Maybe they want to cast it. They cast Wish. They could have a Whisper. I have had some times where I had a Whisper in my sideboard because everyone was playing Defining Silence, but then they started playing High Noon and I cut it. Here, swing for 2. They block. And maybe I ambush the Ral with Subtlety. They mill another Ral with a Surveillant and they play another Surveillant. Okay, so they're not playing white, seems like. They're just Izzet with Subtlety. Here I'm gonna get End and get the last Surveillant. Cycle End, play Surveillant, Surveil. Wistfulness to the top. It's a decent draw. It attacks, always great. Opponent cast Reckless or they spell from the turn. No more spells allowed. Flame of Honor and Desperate Ritual. Even flaming this matchup seems weird. Bad draw 2. Attack. Blue, white. This is just draw this card for 5 mana. Draw 2, discard 1. So the rental gave me those, which I don't like the art of this. The Agile Elemental is stoned. Living End gets discarded. Hallowed Fountain gets played. So they will have to kill this turn. They're Bonesing. Okay. Maybe I die next turn. Maybe not. I don't have a blue card, so if they have 4, so this can be played. Yes. So if they have Past Influence, I'm probably dead. If they have Past Influence, I'm for sure dead. So 4 cards, another Flame of Honor. Okay, that's not like the best game plan. Okay, 5 cards, 1 ritual that could be cast from exile. Ritual gets cast. So do I die or do I not die? Ritual, Medallion, okay. Okay, it's okay. I'm not dying. Now this is 1, 2, 3, 6 counters. They can minus here. They minus, yep. And they play a land. Gonna attack into the Ral and play the Silence and pass. So they have 2 cards remaining, lots of mana, but no payoff currently. Okay, they concede. They might only have 1 card to bounce this. That's a weird concession. Yep, sure. Okay, I'm gonna cut the press enemy for Commandeer. Commandeer can get a Wish or a Past in Flames, so that's a plan. Game 3. I have only 1 land, but I have Endurance, Force of Vigor, and a Surveillant while on the draw. So that's gonna... Okay, we draw another land. Drunk Island was not the best basic I could draw. Would have preferred to draw Forest, because this brings me near to the Hardcast Endurance plan. Racket Ridge, another force of negation, pass. So there's land and pass. They're waiting, and I'm gonna cycle. Draw Living End. Great. Yeah, expert at drawing Living End. I have one Living End in my deck, and I did draw it both times. Flame of Honor, draw 2. Yeah, get up to 6 cards. Yeah, Flame is good against my controllish hand, but Reckless, Ral, and Arid Mesa. I do not want to cast Ral. Maybe I should. One more try at finding a land. Okay, so no land. Discard Force of Vigor. That's maybe the card that does the least amount of impact. Okay. Gonna let the Ral resolve. See how far I can get with my... I want them to cast spells, but not get to flip Ral. So 1 spell cast, 5 cards in hand. Ritual. Yep, Ral resolves. That's the 3rd spell. We have a Pact of Negation in the sideboard, so Flame of Honor, draw 2. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 instant and sorcery spells. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 instant and sorcery spells cast currently to flip Ral. Yeah, our game plan on choking them, on flipping Ral worked out a bit. Okay, this is a card that cycles 1 endurance at least. I'm not gonna play my land now. Rent resolve. Yep, solves. Artist talent and Arid Mesa. Artist talent is quite strong at hitting. My opponent is playing 3 surveillance. Whoa, that's not a lot of surveillance. Artist talent resolves. Rune Medallion resolves. If their 5th spell is a Rune Medallion, that means they don't have a lot of gas. Racket Ridge. Yep. Discard a ritual. Racket Ridge from the hand, not flashbacked. Okay. That's the 1, 2, 3, 3rd spell. Ritual. Draw. Try to flip Ral. Discard. And I'm gonna endurance here so that they cannot flashback Strike it Rich. And now Rents. Reckless Impulse. Okay. So there's only a 7 mana Ral. Okay. They were missing 1. Okay. So they can ultimate Ral next turn, but if they don't find a spell... And now I'm gonna have Defining Silence. Called Bones Ral. Is it better to Bones Ral or to... So if they ultimate Ral and they hit the Bone spell, I lose. If they have 0 cards, gonna gamble that they don't hit the Bone spell with Ral. If they hit the Bone spell, I'm dead, but if they ultimate Ral without hitting, then I'm a good spot. The issue is that now if my opponent draws a draw 2 spell or they draw okay, no blue card, no Boneser, so they have 1 spell from there available. Okay, they Steam Vents and Reckless Impulse. Past in Flames, yeah, that's for future turns. They take up Artist Talent and they take up Artist Talent again. Here we are at our very aggressive plan. I don't have a forest, so Village enters tap. Into the Floodmaw. I'm gonna let them loot. If I sink the Floodmaw, then that's bad for me. But if I let them Past in Flames, Rent Resolve, yep. Reckless, another Reckless, level 3. Desperate Ritual, Ruby Medallion. Okay, now they don't have any more cards. Now I cast Past in Flames, and if I don't remember wrong, if I sink Past in Flames, this gets exiled. It's like remand. So they loot, and now they don't have Past in Flames, and I have Defining Silence again. Oof, that was a game. After missing land drop after land drop after land drop, I end up getting there. This was a match. This was playing against Storm. If you have the tools to beat it, like you are not a goldfish, the games tend to be interesting when there is not just one-sided. Last round against Fulpeep. Oh, are we gonna end with a positive record or not? 3 lands. I'm gonna keep this because I want to play. Probably on the draw I would have been this, but here I need to get White-Blue Surveil. White-Blue Surveil. Go. Have Endurance. Basic Island. What does Basic Island means? White-Blue. Okay, End is great. Green, blue, Edge Maze. I'm gonna keep the Shardless. My opponent is on a blue deck, so having more cards that could win the game are fine. Otawara, my opponent playing. Wanna Soporific Springs. Is this Merfolks or something like that? I have no idea. This starts to pressure them. This is not Belch. I have no clue what I'm playing against. Maybe Merfolk. Merfolk with a weird draw of no creatures. I don't know. A very strange blue-white control draw. A very strange Sky Cutter draw. This Affinity? Affinity could also be Lush Party. Okay, this is a mirror. This is a mirror. Now I'm assuming I'm in a mirror. This is a 3-turn clock. Okay, opponent concedes. Okay, yeah. That seems like a mirror. A weird mirror. Teferi, Dispute, Treat Wraith goes, and Sky Turtle goes. Gonna be our plan. Game 3. Game 2. Gonna keep this. Draws and lands and curators. This seems like a mirror. Yep. Mirror it is. Generous End. Blue green. Blue green. I surveil. Ooh. Press enemy is a card that can be very strong if we do it in the right moment, so I'm gonna keep it. They are cycling again, and again, triple curator. They're curating very hard. Soporific Springs and Charles to start. I get Generous End back. I'm gonna cycle, so I get some people, they get some people. What should they do? Probably just drawing cards. Get this cards. Cry. I'm gonna put this on top. This dies. They can attack. If they attack, I trade. They might not be attacking. Maybe they're attacking. The mirror is so... Okay, they have 4 triggers. They drew all 4 curators. They cycle. Attacks. Here I get a free surveil. Here is free surveil plus food token. Okay, they have Waker of Waves in their deck. Okay. That's unexpected, but they put 0 cards on top, 0 cards on top, 0 cards on top, so none of the cards they got were cards they were happy with. Meticulous Archive goes to the grave, and they cycle. Strip it. 0 on top, 1 on top, 1 on top, and draw. No attacks. I surveil for the blue-white land. Blue, green, green, green. And this is on the slow side of just... And here, food token. Oh, and endurance. Endurance is strong. Gonna green, green, blue, green. Wistfulness is a good attacker. The opponent had to play 2 of their good lands to do nothing. This could be a subtlety, but I don't care about that. They dispute. Fine. It is a very premium card in this matchup, and they're putting a creature in my graveyard. I guess that's somehow of a win. Usually the first one to cast a Living End tends to lose. Okay, sure. Here we trade. The cycle end. 16. Temple Garden. They shock themselves? Yes. What's this? Teferi. Teferi. Sure. Yeah, that's bad. This is 12. Or 14. But that would have been a good card last turn. So, okay, I need to hit Living End with this cycle. Teferi got me. Yeah. No free spells. I cast 1 Wistfulness. Yeah, that Teferi got me hard. Okay, last game of the league. 1 land that is one of the worst lands. Double Living End. I guess. And... Top lamp, go. Colored Fountain. Draw End. White, green. Lush Portico. Wistfulness goes to the grave. Go. They are gonna cycle Curator or strip it. Generous End. Lush Portico gets searched. I don't have any Force of Negation here, so probably not worth playing a Living End now. No, even worse, because opponent has a Waker. They land, go. Here I might just hard cast an Endurance or Endurance. That means that I cannot get disputed, which will be a bit of a disaster with our current game plan. And they subtlety. Does my opponent have... Yeah, they are living ending. Okay, then I'm living ending back. They might have a... So I need to do it this way. Yeah, I'm gonna do it this way. Wait, Living End with Plea. Cast it, Surveilling Response. Meticulous Archive. See if my opponent has a Force. Commandeer. Commandeer's gonna go to the grave. Things die, things come back. Force. Okay, they do have the Force. Now I'm gonna jump and Living End again. Jump. Or let's just jump with End. Jump here. Trade with here. Trade. Jump. Not trading. Okay. So I get an End. If my opponent has another counter. If they have another counter, then I'm dead and that's it. They have double blue. They have to have Dispute, Hardcast. Yeah. Yeah, so Dispute Hardcast. I don't have any more living, and so seems like I lost the mirror. Block, jump. I don't have a third living end. I could draw the press the enemy. Sky Turtle. Okay, yeah, sure. I guess press the enemy is the 5. So I go to 2. Go to 1. 0 cards. Press the enemy time. Okay, this is a redraw. Dispute. No. Okay, well played, opponent. So we end 2-2. 2-3, sorry. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think this deck is much better than playing the Sultai list. The Sultai list with the Deceit seems so much better. Also, playing the Overlord of the Belmorg is such a clock. You just play Overlord on turn 2, and the game has a 5-turn clock to finish. So I'm probably keep going with the Sultai. Every time I test this deck, it's just try to win. I don't know. I like the Sultai list more.